brothers down in the space had covered this like a while ago. You know what I'm saying? But I see it then resurfaced, and it's actually the female content creators that's been covering this. So this is good. But this was the Keisha's on Clubhouse meeting with the clan on Clubhouse, asking them to take the black man out. And I wanted to double down on this since we got a other than that, and that's why we've been pumping AC since season one. So like, while all these dudes is, we got a lot of content creators telling brothers to accept the reach back now, and now ain't the time for with the gender war, like it's time to forget these. It's a lot of backtracking going on, bro. So this is a perfect time to revisit this joint. So I want to play this, and then we going round robin on this.
Perception, because like the goal of this conversation should be to like progress, right? Do like, unless you're ladies that you don't want to fucking deal with men at all, then we should talk about
we don't want to deal with black men at all.
I love all men and not black men. Just not black men.
Well, is there any women here who don't want to deal with men, period, or is it just black men, or is it a mixture?
It's just black men, and we actually want non-black men's help in these corrections that you speak of.
So what are the corrections that you're looking for specifically?
Force, because that's the only thing that's gonna work.
But I mean, what are you looking for black men to arrive at? A place of understanding of like, what do you want to see?
Well, we believe that there is no hope for them. That we don't believe in changing their minds. We don't. But I'm trying not to say what I really want to say because you're on stage. But if they could not exist, hey, we wouldn't be mad at.
I think for me, I think I want the coddling culture to kind of stop. I think they get validated a little bit too much and they're not held accountable as much as white men, Hispanic men, Asian men. Like, the legal system works in their benefit a little bit more than they think it does. They're seen as the ultimate, like, most oppressed. And I think that coddling culture needs to stop and they need to be held accountable for their actions.
Because we live in white male patriarchy, white men set what's socially acceptable. So with you all setting what's socially acceptable, the degenerate behavior of black male culture needs to be checked, and there needs to be more, because we're no longer looking for accountability from them because they've proven that they will not take accountability. We need the men who set the culture to make them take accountability by exacting some sort of consequence for perpetrating behaviors that are not socially acceptable, because you all create the socially acceptable behavior.
A few moments later.
Hey, black man, hey. Hey, black man, hey. Black man.
Black man.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
Yeah, so I'm glad this clip that made its way back around the internet. Saul, we're gonna start with you, and we skipped opening statement. So you do your opening statement, and then give me your response to this video. And I'm glad, like I said, this needs to be reinforced, and brothers need to hear this, especially since it's reach back season.
I'll say first things first. With that, it's not like they don't know about them meeting with the Klan, and I want to take a quote from Ed Anderson. He said it's not that they are against white supremacy; they're just dissatisfied with their place in it. You understand what I'm saying? Now, us is different in the sense that we fought and built this country. We spilled blood. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So we're in a sort of position to negotiate. They're not even, the only position they're in to negotiate is either on their knees or on their back. You understand what I mean? And that's what they've been doing. All right. So that's them basically trying to more or less be honest about, you know what I mean, the DEI and intersectionality and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I want them to say exactly what your intentions are. You ain't got to color it with all this old pro-black stuff. You ain't got to do that. no more because the environment hasn't checked them or whatnot. So to a certain extent, uh, uh, I would at least give the simps some credit in the sense that they've kind of propped up um, would you say Keisha in such a delusional state that she believes herself and she's actually open with the bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? Because back in the day when it was the Dorothy Dandridge, what's the Catwoman name? That crazy ass lady,
Eartha Kitt.
Eartha Kitt, and all them, they felt the same and they did the
Facts.
same, right?
Facts.
So it's like, okay, so at this point that let's just cut to the chase. You understand what I'm saying, right?
Hmm.
So and these women see the kind of power shift and where it's going, and they're trying to go ahead of it. And like I said before, this generation, as far as the table go, that shit is out. You understand what I mean? There needs to be some generational punishment or some culling. Now, whether or not black men even decide to want to go back to the table in the first place, further generations down the line, it won't be my fight. It won't be. So I'm not gonna, say one way or another about that. But as of now, this no surrender, no retreat. And I land my plane there.
I like what you did with that. I like what you did with that, man. Let's jump to you, Mr. O, and then we're gonna go to Hoop, and we'll get Tito to close this one out. So, 'cause, what you call? I want you to put a book in on this whole thing, Tito. Well, Mr. O, and what you call? Give me your opening statement too.
What's good, everybody? You know what I'm saying? It's Mr. O with the info. I just got to celebrate birthday this week, but
Happy
no,
birthday.
appreciate it. Enough of the small talk. Just sitting back and watching this particular dialogue on Clubhouse with KK Keisha asking a white man to go and take us out. First is get rid of black men. They're the problem. Now is quick, black men save our jobs from Trump's acts. The next breath. Flip flopping faster than a politician at a donor dinner. You know, who knew irony came with a pink slip, bro? The ongoing 40-day government shutdown has triggered over 4,000 federal layoffs, hitting black women the hardest, right? Right. They accounted the majority of Fed job losses since January 2025. And now they come to Clubhouse with this therapy session talking to white guys, and white guys nodding along to the exiled brothers, right? But don't y'all find it crazy that it's burning like the bridge that they have burnt with us? Now they trying to go ahead and rebuild said bridge with burnt wood, and trying to extend the olive branch, trying to get us back on the plantation.
Hell yeah.
And telling Whitey to handle black men like yesterday's trash than crying uncle when the Fed checks bounce. I love this. I fucking love this. And this is a perfect example right here. What kind of quote unquote who they really date right here on the screen. And this who both versions of said people get. You know, they want to show us the Travis Kelsey's and the what the chick name was. They want to show us that, but this is really what interracial coupling looks like in America. And I pass the mic right there.
No, no, I think you spot on with that, Mr. O, and I'll piggyback on what you said before I pass. And I'll say this, that there's no really other ethnic group by and large that doesn't punish or exile women that are that are ethnic traitors to a large extent, and some extension or another. So all these all these simps and these dudes flip flopping on their message, talking about, oh, now that it's reach back season and so the brothers need to step up and take care of these Keishas. That is the same type of mentality that got us in the position that we in right now. But
Mainly
we
the
got a
black
we got
pastor.
yeah we got a whole generation of men that didn't punish this sort of bad behavior. And they would sign up to be daddies and all like. That's why we're in the position we're in now. So you got a lot of
And,
guys advocating
And,
for the same environment that put us in the same place that we at.
and it's all attributed to that black pastor. Now he has a problem with his congregation. On one hand, he got to go ahead, brainwash and manipulate the woman congregation to keep on funding his lifestyle. On the other hand, he got to try to bring men back into the congregation to get brainwashed to take care of said woman that's contributing to his so-called lifestyle, to even fund their pockets to contribute to his lifestyle. But he can't manipulate both, and that's the problem.
I mean, I ain't even talking about the pastors. I'm talking about influencers and stuff on social media. Because truth be told, these are the new pastors. These are the new. You understand what I'm saying? And we watch it. I'm gonna say this. I said this to Saul behind the scenes. Right here, right now, we're watching the new Al Sharptons get birthed in this space. Y'all know who they are. The flip floppers and like Tito had said a while ago, the dudes that build their channels with a male following, and then they, you know what I'm saying, then they water down and dilute the message. Like we didn't get to where we at in this space by not being edgy and saying what needs to be said. And I'm gonna pass this to you, Hoop. But before I do that, let me shout you out for these super chats. Hoop with the $2 super chat. He said, "Let's go." And another super chat. My thoughts exactly apropos to this segment. F all you hoes.
The word liberal as an acronym, lacking in basic education, reasoning, and logic. Liberal.
Man, fuck all you hoes. Fuck you and your mammy and your granny too. Man, fuck all you hoes. I'm sick of this shit. Fuck all you hoes. Man, fuck all you. Don't give a damn, bitch, what you wanna do. Man, fuck all you hoes.
Yeah, that's all you, Hoop, and give us your opening statement too, but your response to this segment.
Yeah, man. So for the edification of the crowd, because I know we're like double in viewers since when you first started. You mind replaying a chunk of it real quick?
Yeah, no problem. Let's run some of this back.
At all.
I love all men and not black men. Just not black men.
Well, is there any women here who don't want to deal with men, period, or is it just black men, or is it a mixture?
It's just black men, and we actually want non-black men's help in these corrections that you speak of.
So what are the corrections that you're looking for specifically?
Force, because that's the only thing that's gonna work.
But I mean, what are you looking for black men to arrive at? A place of understanding of like, what do you want to see?
Well, we believe that there is no hope for them. That we don't believe in changing their minds. We don't. But I'm trying not to say what I really want to say because you're on stage. But if they could not exist, hey, we wouldn't be mad at.
I think for me, I want the coddling culture to kind of stop. I think they get validated a little bit too much and they're not held accountable as much as white men, Hispanic men, Asian men. Like the legal system works in their benefit a little bit more than they think it does. They're seen as the ultimate, like most oppressed. And I think that coddling culture needs to stop and they need to be held accountable for their actions.
Because we live in white male patriarchy, white men set what's socially acceptable. So with you all setting what's socially acceptable, the degenerate behavior of black male culture needs to be checked, and there needs to be more, because we're no longer looking for accountability from them because they've proven that they will not take accountability. We need the men who set the culture to make them take accountability by exacting some sort of consequence for perpetrating behaviors that are not socially acceptable, because you all create the socially acceptable behavior.
A few moments later.
Hey, black man, hey. Hey, black man, hey. Black man.
Black man.
Stop the cap.
That's all you.
Okay, man, I'm gonna try not to suck too much of the air out the room with this, but this is like a combination of shit that like KS was talking about, bro. This is basically, you know, from a foundational standpoint, this is an iceberg of basically self-destruction with a lot of black women embarked upon. And without even me listening to this, this is what I see on my, you know, little certain parts of like my own personal social media, people who I went to school with, I went to a school close to, we may be a part of a similar Greek organization, so on and so forth. And I gotta say, generally speaking, it's these weird old black bitches who aged out, the septum ring hoes, the hotep hoes, and overweight bitches. This is like their currency, bro. And it's like, I tell people all the time, this is 2020 currency right here. That's, you know, it's like Deutschmarks in Germany. Nobody uses Deutschmarks anymore. You got to spend in euro. This is the fallout of all that Deutschmarks that they were spending back then. Because I don't know when this original video was made from Clubhouse.
This a couple years ago. We didn't cover it in the space area. It didn't made its way back around to the right. And it's the female content creators that started covering. But this is old.
September 2021. September 2021.
That's about right. That's where our place is, 2020, 2021.
But so, I'm saying it's apropos with that made its way back around right when the EBT didn't get cut off. So that's, I love it.
Absolutely. So again, with me leading in with the KS thing, so this is when these hoes was like big mad about KS kind of busting their spot up about what they really about. And so all that talk they was talking right now, that currency don't spend in 2025, right? Because the changing of the guard has happened. The Trump America is in. And so all that black girl magic bullshit is gone now, right? So again, iceberg of destruction. So it's funny what they say. They say that black men are not accountable, and we basically don't have, you know, any type of recourse for the actions. Listen, man, right now as it stands, the most harangued motherfuckers is us. It's the easiest thing to say with a black fatigue. And I'm not saying some niggas don't perpetuate that shit easily. Right. But accountability, like black men, we get that shit, you know what I'm saying, from any and every direction. So like that shit just aged like horribly, you know what I mean? So going forward, they talking about we want y'all to come in and help out. Bitch, you ain't got no choice, ho. Nigga, men are the most race loyal people on the planet, no matter where you go. I used to live overseas, my boy. Everywhere you go, men are race loyal. Even from like an African standpoint. I remember talking to an African bitch when I was in Germany, bro, and niggas was hating hard. Meaning, these niggas are not gonna go across, you know, the racial lines, the cultural lines like that. So they talking about appealing to white boy to come save you. Nigga, no white boy don't have no baby with you and had no fucking mixed bitch that he gotta explain everywhere he go that's his kid. Like, what are we talking about? So it's just funny, man.
Yeah, that's the heart of the matter right there. They not that procreation issue. That's why you got 2 million babies out of wedlock by non-black men unclaimed. They like, but fuck you and that kid.
Exactly. Like I love this video, man, with this white dude. It's like I believe it's in Arizona, and she was like, this black chick was hanging in his window. She was like, man, like why you don't like black women? He's like, because you're disgusting. Like, I don't, and I'm not saying black women disgusting. I'm just saying what the dude said. He's like, no, I don't want nothing to do with you. But why? You so beautiful. Like, she just was incredulous to the fact that his worldview, this is like about 4 or 5 years ago. So this is not like, you know, last week. Shit. It's like, I don't want nothing to do with you. And I think black women, a lot of black women lack this, you know, totality standpoint that as bad as you say your men are, what the motherfuckers think about you? Because hello, you raised these motherfuckers. You are the motherfucker who make these Pookies and Ray Rays and Jujus and Man-Mans. Y'all raise these motherfuckers. So that's why it's so backwards all the way around. And it's crazy too that all of a sudden the victimization thing ain't accepted, based on what she was saying with her rhetoric. She was basically saying that, oh, well, we don't want this victimization, but that's their whole game plan. And like I know, man, I lost so many Facebook friends over the last few years, bro, of me just speaking more of a so-called conservative forefront, not making excuses for us talking forthright, this, that, and the third. That's their only currency. Going back to the Deutschmark comment. So it's just funny how, like, when they try to separate it from the dating field, like, bitch, that's all y'all got. Victimhood. As a black woman, we'll hear this shit all the time, right? So to land the plane, it's just interesting to see them try to appeal to an audience that is not there when they are the progenitors of raising the men that they hate. Ain't that a bitch?
No, that's facts. That's facts. All right, well played. Tito, I saved you for last so you can really put a book in on this.
Okay.
Give
You know
me your
what,
take.
man? I've said many times before that this country was primarily the way that it's politically arrayed, that it was set up as a paradise for white men and so-called black women. I've been saying this since like 2015, right? And so now that you see a changing of social orders, of monetary orders, now that you see sort of a refutation of the Anglo-Dutch monetary system and things starting to shift, right? Now we come to the day and age where people are actually going to have to live up to their billing when it comes to economics, when it comes to the workplace and all of that, when it comes to a lot of different areas. And so these two, Keisha and Brad, came up together, and God damn it, they're gonna go down together. And the fact that you see discourses like this is just symptomatic of that. They came up together and they're gonna go down together, right? After Bacon's rebellion, Brad thought he was slick and thought he was smart when he stripped so-called black men of patriarchy by denying us the right to own firearms in a lot of the territories, before they became the United States, right?
Fact.
And they see, when I say stripped us of patriarchy, you got to realize that one of the fundamental aspects of patriarchy is the ability to physically protect, to exert physical force. You know what I'm saying? And so they stripped us of that. And so the preceding like 270 years or so of history after that have been just, when you look at one of those cartoons and you see like Woody Woodpecker pecking holes in the boat, and then you see the other cartoon character plugging the holes with his
Plugging
fingers
the
and his
holes.
toes.
Yeah.
Yeah, every successive thing, the Fugitive Slave Act, the Harbor Travel Act, everything has been just an effort to try to plug the holes in the boat, and now that shit is over with, right? And so now that you see this order changing, you know who's left out in the cold? Keisha is. She's panicking. She's panicking because now that now that Brad doesn't occupy the place that he used to, they came up together, they're gonna go down together. They came up together and they're gonna go down together. And so now that Brad doesn't occupy the place that he used to, Keisha is panicking because if rank and file Brad has to actually get out here and compete, then rank and file Brad and administrative Brad isn't going to be worried about Keisha anymore. And you seeing it, you know, with Section 8 going away, you seeing it with the shit that's going on with Snap and all of this. You seeing it. You like in New York. I just heard that everybody there a few months ago, like right after the inauguration, had to recertify, no
Yup.
matter what. Everybody in the whole state had to recertify, right?
Yeah, they try
So
and reset.
now,
Yeah, they try and reset the books.
yeah. So Keisha is losing her shit because she only knows the plantation. She only knows the plantation, and so now that, you know, just like back in 1865, those Union soldiers are outside that picket fence, she's losing her shit. She's losing her shit. And this time, it's not going to be any place to crash land. See, after 1865, I bet y'all didn't know. What those of y'all that look at my channel know this. My grandfather told me that after the Civil War ended, that a lot of them didn't leave the plantation. They refused to leave them plantations. My grandfather told me that, like, when the relatives will move what they call back east, you know what I'm saying? Or they'll move to the north to get a job or something, and you know, it'd be like the young children of the people who were slaveholders, they'll still be living there, but the successive generations would have been moved on. But the slave, the house nigga bitch, will still be there. And a lot of times the grandchildren or the great grandchildren will sell this piece of land, and they will have to have to like come out there with a station wagon and pack up these house nigga bitches shit and take them somewhere. Actually, some of the first women's shelters in the South that's why they had them, for these slaves that would not leave, that refused categorically to leave these plantations. They crash landed in them plantations after the Civil War, and they crash landed on their backs in brothels in all white towns after the Civil War. It ain't gonna be no shit for like nothing like that this time. They gonna be in them resettlement centers and in FEMA camps, like I told y'all they was. And it just shows the stultified heights of delusion that they live in, if they think that it's some corner of the universe where other races of men have more accountability than so-called black men. I don't know. I think that when they use the word accountability, they don't mean actual accountability. What they mean is social mobility. Social mobility and being led around by women. Because actually those other groups of men that they just named, they might not be led around by women politically like the so-called black man is, but they definitely are led around by women financially. Like, I don't heard some crazy ass stories from white men about, you know, white women when they ass dry financially while they was with them and didn't care nothing about it. Right? So yeah, that shows the like I say, the stultified heights of delusion, or what other point did she speak to, or the physical elimination or the application of force towards black men? Yeah, like it
you see
just
one of
shows you.
them up there is named Bullet Bag. That's her stage name, Bullet
Yeah,
Bag.
yeah. It shows you how delusional they are when it comes to history. If you look at American history closely, not the shit they give you in public school, but if you look at it closely, you'll see that the so-called black man has been locked in physical struggle in a never-ending cycle that only ended with the passage of civil rights in the late 60s. So I don't know where does she think that this application of force is supposed to happen at, or that it didn't happen before. Just shows you how fucking delusional they are, and how afraid they are now that the economic and the social order is changing. And I'll land my plane there.
Well played, sir.
You know what? Let me piggyback real quick.
No, it's all you. Go ahead, Saul. You got it.
So and salute to Tito for that, by the way. That was well thought out. And who and Mr. O, they really contribute some great insight on this. But here's the thing. I think this is controlled damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, you talk about videos like this, but where's all the protesting and the gall to talk about things like ghetto hackers or
Exactly.
or other atrocious things that that go on. You know what I mean? You know, so this is a way that that these content creators, these black females, ones, I never have I ever heard them ever address it directly.
I think that they're proud of ghetto gaggers. I know it's a crazy thing to say, but I think collectively black women are proud of it.
I'm talking about these chicks that claim they are pro manosphere.
Right.
You
Oh yeah,
understand
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Yeah, they never say nothing about it.
They never say nothing about the divestors, right? They don't give them that smoke. And not only that, like, they never say anything, especially about, head hackers. You understand what nothing at all, right? They don't say anything about the child abuse rates. They don't say anything about, the neglect, the sexual abuse. They don't say anything about female jealousy or are females being put into pimping and prostitution by their moms. None of that stuff. You know what I mean? So this is them just basically, oh, I'm just gonna give the most obvious and blatant thing away. You understand what I'm saying?
What in the Melanie King are you talking about, bro?
You said what?
I said, what in the Melanie King are you talking about?
Oh well, yeah. I'm sure she's probably watching because a lot of the shit we say here end up over there. If y'all ain't Pete.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we see that shit. I'm just saying, somehow or another, I find it real fishy that it does end up over there. It's just I don't know if it's just me though. But anyway, I wanted to at least do that as an addendum. I land my plane there.
Now I think you're spot on. You hit on something there. Like, yeah, this blackmail content is the algorithm pays and rewards it now.